Verse of the day. Today's verse of the day, we are going to talk about turning the other cheek. And when we dive into turning the other cheek, we have to ask ourselves, what was Jesus actually teaching? Was he expressing some form of pushing us towards pacifism, allowing injustice to go unchecked? Or is it deeper than that? Is it more along the lines of revealing an identity to the world that they cannot quite see? As Christians, our job being the revelation of God in us and through us. And so let's jump into it. So our verse of the day starts with Matthew 5:39, and it says, "But I tell you not to resist an evil person, but whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn to him also the other." So now let me ask you something here. When you are wronged, what rises up in you first? The need to defend yourself, to repay, or to prove something? Because whatever rises up in you first often reveals where your identity is still actually rooted. Jesus' instruction to turn the other cheek is not a call to weakness. It is a revelation of identity. In Proverbs 26:4-5, we are told something that seems kind of contradictory. It says, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him." And then it goes on to say, "Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes." So, which is it? The answer is found in Christ. A fool in the biblical sense is not simply someone who lacks intelligence. It is someone who is blind to the truth, blind to God, blind to who they were created to be. So if you respond to a fool according to his folly, matching offense with offense, pride with pride, you step into the same blindness and you become like him. But if you refuse to meet him there, if you respond from truth instead of reaction, you expose the folly without actually becoming a part of it. This is what Jesus is teaching. In his day, to be struck on the right cheek was not just an act of violence, it was an act of degradation. A backhand strike was used to assert superiority, to treat someone less than human. And Jesus says, do not return it. Don't play that game. Don't meet them on that ground. But why? Because you are not who they say you are. And they are not acting from a place of knowing who they were created to be. Now, I want you to remember the cross. Jesus says, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." They knew they were crucifying Jesus, but they did not know who they were. They were acting from blindness, from a fractured identity, from a nature disconnected from the truth. And Jesus did not respond to their actions, he responded to their condition. And this is the standard. Leviticus 19:18 tells us not to bear a grudge and not to seek revenge against our own people. And it also goes on to say to love your neighbor as yourself. Does that sound familiar? But you cannot love rightly until you see rightly. And you cannot see rightly until you know who you are in him. Because loving your neighbor as yourself does not mean affirming behavior. It means recognizing identity. It means seeing beyond the offense to the image they were created to bear, even when they cannot see it for themselves. So when you turn the other cheek, you are not submitting to their offense. You are refusing to submit to their blindness. And more than that, you are forcing a shift. You are no longer reacting, you are revealing. You are no longer being shaped by the world, you are confronting it with something it does not understand. Because when you move from identity, the world cannot continue engaging you in the same way. It must change its posture. This is not passive, this is powerful. So the question is not, why would I let somebody treat me this way? The real question is, do I know who I am well enough in Christ to refuse to become what I am not? Because if you don't, you will answer from your wounds, from your pride, from your need to justify yourself. But if you do, you will respond from truth. And truth does not need to defend itself. It reveals itself. So do not meet the world on its terms. Do not answer blindness with blindness. Stand in who you are. See clearly, love rightly, and let your response be the very thing that exposes a better way.